Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. It is Nomad Reader. So today in this video I'll be showing the books that I have in my bookshelf, and most of them are read. I'll tell you which I haven't read. Okay, so the first is the ACOTAR series, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. So this collection has 5 books. First one is A Court of Thorns and Roses. Then we have A Court of Mist and Fury. This is the second book. A Court of Wings and Ruins. This is the third book. And this is a small short novella of it, A Court of Frost and Starlight. And this is the fifth one, A Court of Silver Frames by Sarah J. Maas. And there will be, I think, future more books coming in this series. So this series basically follows a female character, the FMC, that is Fairy, and she is a human, and how she gets into the Fae world, that is the fairy world, and how that life transforms her journey in that fairy life among the lords, and the struggles she faces and all that. It's all in this beautiful story, and it's like a fantasy romance. You have fairies with wings, you have shape-shifting fairies, there are so many magical creatures, the magical world is awesome. So I really loved this fantasy series, and the whole series I will rate like 5 out of 5. The last fantasy that I have read was Harry Potter, and something after Harry Potter, a fantasy book, it is A Court of Thorns and Roses. Obviously Harry Potter is for children's, but this is the adult version, but it has everything you need. There is magic, there is fantasy, there are magical creatures, and so many horrible and beautiful magical creatures. So this whole series I will give a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it, and I read the whole series, means from 1 to 5 without a break in a month, and I really enjoyed it. So do give it a try. The next series we have is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, and again this is also my first book by Holly Jackson. This is a 3-book series. The second one is Good Girl, Bad Blood, and the third one is As Good as Dead. Okay, so this follows a teenage character called Pip, and she does a school project where she is investigating the murder of a girl, and she believes that the true murderer was not caught, or believes that the boy who was actually an Indian boy who was framed for the murder, and he also committed suicide. She believes that that is not a true story, and she goes on to prove it, that it was a mistake, and it's her journey from proving it. And the second one is also, and the third one also, we really find the real bad person, the real killer also. So yes, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Pip's way of investigating. Yes, so it was my first book with Holly Jackson. It was like easy read. I think teenagers can also read it. It's obviously young adult, like YA book. Yeah, it's good. The next series I read was the Shatter Me series, and the Shatter Me series has, let me see, how many books does it have? So this is the first book in the series. Then we have the second book. This has 2 parts. That is, after Shatter Me, you're supposed to read Destroy Me in this, and then you will read Unravel Me, and after Unravel Me you will read Fracture Me. That's how you're supposed to read it. Then there is Ignite Me, Restore Me, and after Restore Me you're supposed to read Shadow Me, and Defy Me, and after Defy Me you're supposed to read Reveal Me. Then there is Imagine Me and Believe Me. Okay, so this one follows a character, I don't remember her name. Yeah, Juliet. She has a gift. It's also a curse. She's a monster, but she's more than human. Her touch is lethal also, her touch is power also. And she's saying they will use me as her weapon. I will fight back. So let's read the synopsis here. A fragile teenage girl is held captive, locked in a cell by the re-establishment, a harsh dictatorship in charge of a crumbling world. But Juliet is an ordinary teenager. One touch from her can kill. The re-establishment wants to use her as a weapon, but Juliet has other plans. After a lifetime without freedom, she's finally discovered the strength to fight back and to find a future with one person she thought she'd lost forever. It's an awesome series. Again, I read the whole series from book 1 to the last. This is how I read series. I don't like to break and then continue. I like to do it like fully. If I'm going to read a series, I want to read the whole book. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. The next series is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I think there is another series before this that is called the Carvel series or something, but you can read this even without reading it. So I've done my research and I feel like you don't need to read that series. So I'm going to start with this one. I haven't read it, so I don't have any idea, but I've had really good reviews about it. So I'll just read the synopsis. For as long as she can remember, Evangeline Fox has believed in happily ever after, until she learns that the love of her life is about to marry another and her dreams are shattered. Desperate to stop the wedding and heal her wounded heart, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic but wicked Prince of Hearts. In exchange for his help, he asks for 3 kisses to be given at the same time and place of his choosing. But after Evangeline's first promised kiss, she learns that bargaining with an immortal is a dangerous game, and that the Prince of Hearts wants far more from her than she pledged. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. So this is the first book, Once Upon a Broken Heart. The second one is The Ballad of Never After, and the last book of the series is A Curse for True Love. I haven't read it, so I will read it and then I'll be rating it. And by the way, the Shatter Me series, I will give it like a 4-star for the whole series. It was good. I liked the storyline. It was good. It kept me hooked. So yeah. Then another book I have in my collection is Murakami's Sputnik Sweetheart, and this is the second time I'm reading it. You know, Murakami's books are, I don't think anyone can, it's not for everybody. Not everybody can understand, I believe. So this follows the character Sumer, and it's from the narrator's point of view. He has this woman called Sumer, and he loves her. She loves another woman, and sort of like that. So I'm not going to tell anything about this. You can just read it and find out. And this is Murakami's another book, Norwegian Wood. This I have read long back. I don't remember anything. I will have to reread it again. So this is, yeah, I'll have to read it again. When he hears a favorite Beatles song, Tour Watanabe recalls his first love, Naoko, the girlfriend of his best friend, Kizuki. Immediately is transported back almost 20 years to his student days in Tokyo, adrift in a world of uneasy friendships, casual sex, passion, loss, and desire, to a time when an impetuous young woman called Midori marched into his life and he had to choose between the future and the past. I don't remember anything of this. I will have to reread, just like I reread Murakami's Sputnik Sweetheart. I will have to reread this. So yeah, so that's all in my book collection as of now. I have some non-fiction books as well and some children's books also. I'll do another video for the non-fiction ones, and there are more books coming into I think probably this week they'll be coming. And yeah, most of my books I read on Kindle, so it's all ebooks. And I'm really enjoying. There are a lot of books you can read on Kindle Unlimited, and I will do a review about the books I read on Kindle Unlimited. I will do another video soon. So thank you for watching.